Hey guys, I've been watching a new TV show on Netflix. It's called Archer, and it's a spy comedy set in America. The main character is called Archer, and he works for a spy organization called ISIS. And ISIS's owner and manager and boss is Archer's mother, called Mallory. And obviously those two are in constant conflict with each other, and it's funny. Archer is extremely narcissistic, neurotic, self-centered, egocentric, and incredible and stupid as well. Really, really stupid. But at the same time, he is actually a good. He manages to, pass his missions. He always manages to survive, get the target or whatever. But he's incredibly stupid, says stupid things, is reckless, always endangers other people, sleeps around, is an alcoholic. But you can guess. It's like imagine James Bond, but incredibly incompetent, and always manages to just screw things up. But at the end of the episode, things always work out somehow. That TV luck that every character has to have to resolve the plot. His mum is also kind of like an alcoholic. Every time you see her, she's always holding like what looks like scotch on the rocks in her hand. Same with Archer. In the office, she's always walking around with drinks. She's the same as her son. That's why they always. That's why I suppose they always clash. They have unresolved conflicts, difficulty sharing emotion, blah blah blah. So not only are they funny characters individually, but also when they interact with each other, the dialogue's hilarious and they're always insulting each other, which makes people laugh. Archer has a sidekick called Lana. She's kind of the opposite of Archer. She's somewhat of a nice person in comparison to him. She is very nice and tries to do what's right. Whereas Archer is like self-interested. He doesn't really give a shit about saving people or trying to do the mission. Sometimes he'll actually go out of his way to sabotage the mission, not on purpose, but because he wants something. He'll gain something from it. He will just screw things up so he can gain something. Lana is his sidekick. They were together once and it didn't work out, obviously, because he was just completely crazy and treating her like shit. But I think, because I'm only in the second series, I think she still has feelings for him. And even though he has no proof, he always just says, "Oh, Lana, you're still attracted to me." Just randomly he'll say it, just to annoy her. So say if she gets something like a good assignment to do, he'll just say, "Oh, it's because you're still attracted to me, isn't it?" Or something like that. He'll just use that against her. And I think probably she is attracted to him, but maybe later on in in the later series, probably we'll get back together at some point. I don't know. Just to make a new storyline. So it's basically it's very dysfunctional is like the key word. You got now I don't know anything about spy agencies in real life, but I'm sure they're not as inept as ISIS. There's a lot of side characters. One of my favourite characters is a guy called Krieger, and he's like the scientist. He's like the Q from James Bond of the gang. So he's there with computers and inventing gadgets and stuff like that. And he's extremely as the episodes go on, he gets more and more and more weirder, to the point where you find out that he has a girlfriend who is actually a hologram, and they were close to getting married, but the law wouldn't permit it. And also, it turns out that I think his father was a Nazi, and you can just go anywhere with that guy's character, and they do. And there's other smaller characters. They also have their own defining features, which are funny. So it's just extremely. It's most of it is set in the office, the ISIS office, and they're all just like insulting each other and drinking. And at some point, Archer and Lana will have to go out to do an assignment, and then you've got more comedy there when you have the villain and he's like scary and he looks serious and stuff, and they're like kind of like spoofing it up with their stupidness, especially Archer. There's also an old guy called Woodhouse, and he's kind of like Archer's manservant. When Archer was a child, Woodhouse basically raised him by himself because his mum was so uninterested or self-absorbed in just going out having fun. You find out she's quite promiscuous and a bit of an alcoholic, and he treats Woodhouse like shit, and it's hilarious because he's so old and he's so honourable and lovely and stuff, and then Archer treats him like shit and does all kinds of bad things to him every episode, and it is funny, even though it's wrong. It's hilarious. But the thing is, it doesn't go Archer. Talking about the show generally, doesn't go overboard like I spoke before about Drawn Together, it's like South Park and Family Guy and Monty Python chucked into a blender and then just like shoved up someone's ass and they've puked it out. So what I'm trying to say is like someone could die and just come alive in the next scene. Whereas even though Archer is crazy, they do follow like the laws of nature. Like no one dies and then comes back to life immediately, or things carry over. So Archer could very well die, and I will not get into any more plot. I won't give away any plots or storylines. But there are some serious elements thrown into the show, and they carry on into the next episode, so it kind of rolls over to the next show. So whatever kind of hilarity you experience in one episode, you can find in the next episode. So there's like a continuum. One criticism of this show, when I first watched it, I thought it was I gave it 3 stars out of 5 because the jokes were kind of really lame. Not all of them, just the odd one or two, which would just put me off. Like, obviously, like it's the kind of joke where you didn't have to say it, but because the timing was right, they just said it. It was forced and not funny and not clever, and I didn't like it. However, as the show progressed, I watched more episodes, and then onto the second series, found the comedy became a bit more, sophisticated, a bit more clever with their delivery. Because before it was kind of like, like if you watch an episode of Friends, like joke, 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 joke. It's just jokes without non-stop. Like one guy will say something and then the other person will say a joke. The straight guy will say something serious and then the other person will immediately come back with a joke. It's like just bounce jokes off the straight guy. And that's what it was like with Archer at the beginning, and I hate that kind of shit, that kind of traditional bullshit, kind of almost theatrical. So they moved away from that gradually. Anyway, I actually got from 3.5 to 5 out of 5 stars for that show on Netflix. So if you want, I don't think it's been done before, like a comedy spy TV show, cartoon. I don't think it's been done before, and it might sound shit, but they do it really well. And if you're into comedy and stuff, then check it out. See if you like it. So yeah, that's Archer on Netflix.